Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I am going to be showing a two-card combo for Blue Eyes metalmorph that involves a card I've recently picked up thanks to the Quarter Century Stampede set, Black Metal Dragon. So this makes the two-card combo that I had showed off with Blue Eyes and Metal Illusionist a lot better, because now your Black Metal Dragon will go full Metalmorph combo regardless of needing. Well, it goes full Metalmorph combo while also setting up Blue Eyes combo if you draw your Sage or any of your Blue Eyes starters, so it's really nice. So I'll get straight into it. So you'll want to start by normalling Black Metal Dragon. He doesn't have any effects on summon, so you're just going to link him off for one of the best cards in the deck, Spirit. So now, it depends on what you want to play around. Obviously, it depends on your hand. If you have already drawn Mausoleum, you can't activate Spirit, so we'll just go Black Metal Dragon. Though I like typically going chain 1 Spirit, chain 2 Black Metal Dragon. This way, you're baiting out pretty much 2 interruptions from your opponent. And if your opponent has those 2 interruptions, fair enough. Like, you'll have other cards in your hand to play around that. So you'll go chain 1 Spirit, chain 2 Black Metal, and then from Black Metal you'll add your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. And from your Spirit, saying this all, let's say if this all goes through, you'll add Mausoleum. So now what you want to do is special Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon by banishing Spirit, because this card summons itself by banishing one face-up dragon you control. So it's pretty good. And then during your main phase, it allows you to special summon any dragon from hand or grave. So you'll activate his effect then to special summon back out Black Metal Dragon. And sorry, I should have mentioned, Black Metal Dragon's search is any Red Eyes monster. So if it has Red Eyes in the name, Black Metal Dragon can search it. So now what you want to do is link 2 to summon out Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, and then activate Black Metal Dragon, because this card is not once per turn. So if it's sent from Field of the Grave, at any point you can add a Red Eyes, which is pretty good. And this time the Red Eyes you'll be adding is Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon, which you're immediately going to shuffle away for your Max Metalmorph. Now, you're going to activate the Mausoleum. So that is it for the Metalmorph combo. From this, you have Seal's Bounce, Seal's Summon, which I play typically Magnum up to summon off of Seals, because that allows me to add any dragon that I want in end phase, which is great follow-up, and is also a level 6 dragon for Max Metalmorph. So you'll go, and also you have Mausoleum of White in hand, importantly. So you can activate Maus, which will give you an extra normal summon of a level 1 Light Tuner, which will be Sage in this case. Normal Sage, which will allow you to add Maiden of White. Maiden, send herself to the grave to place True Light. And now here you'll also have some decisions to make. So with True Light here, you can, if you want, set wishes. However, I feel like if your hand is full of really strong non-engine, there's no real point of discarding one of those stronger non-engine to add a known Veiler, because that isn't really playing around anything. It's just kind of allowing your opponent to know what you have. So if you don't want to discard anything, you can go True Light, just set Roar. Now, obviously, if you've drawn one of your Blue Eyes monsters, one of a brick, like say you're playing Nibiru's, that is probably a good discard because you have monsters on your board if you're going first. But yeah, that is typically, if you don't have anything to discard, you can just set Roar. This also threatens the fact, and then your opponent will never Ash Roar here because it threatens the wishes, which is much too powerful to just ignore pretty much. So you can go Roar here, allowing you to special out Blue Eyes. And then because Blue Eyes got specialed, you can special Maiden from grave. Next, so the one downside is that your Blue Eyes monsters don't get targeting protection, but that's fine, and I'll show you just in a bit why that is fine. So now you'll go Synchro 9 with Sage and Blue Eyes into Blue Eyes Spirit. And sorry, I'll elaborate. You don't get to put Neo Blue Eyes in grave from Wishes banishing itself, but that's completely fine because you have one of your tag outs for Spirit. Just makes it so that your monsters can't be destroyed anyway, so it's completely fine. Next, you'll activate Mausoleum, target Maiden, and Chain Maiden to special Blue Eyes from grave, and then use Mausoleum to send another Blue Eyes. Next, you can Synchro 9 again for the second Spirit Dragon. And from here, you have Spirit, Double Spirit, Heroic Seals, True Light, plus Max Metalmorph, which is extremely powerful. And say you drew like say you drew a brick that you didn't want to use, or like an extra starter that you couldn't use. For example, let's say say you drew like an extra Maiden, you would also have a Veiler in hand and the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Engrave. But the way I like to sequence this combo out for this would be use Heroic Seals first to bounce. Then, because Heroic Seals was tributed, you can special summon a dragon and make its attack and defense 0. So most of the time, I find myself special summoning Bestial Magnum, whose effect on summon allows me to add a dragon in end phase, which is, again, really powerful because it just allows you to add a starter or a really good extender. And then it doesn't even matter that his attack and defense is 0 because we can just use Max Metalmorph here to tribute him off to special Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. And say your Heroic Seals gets targeted by Call by the Grave, you can just simply go Spirit Effect to special summon the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit, which will now negate your opponent's not negate, stop any card from being banished from your grave. And you can also tag out with Spirit again. For this time, you can kind of go for anything. I've been liking Azure Eyes, though, because it makes it so that all dragons that I currently control cannot be destroyed by battle. And also, they cannot be targeted by card effects for the rest of this turn. So here, sorry, not destroyed by battle, destroyed by card effects, and also targeted by card effects. So here we now, after having gone through all of the initial wave of interruptions, we now have Black Metal Omni Negate, targeting protection and destruction protection on these two. He has targeting and destruction protection from monsters and spells, and he is an Omni Negate for a card on field. And we still have True Light, and we also have Magma add an end phase. So for end phase, because he protects everything from destruction, these cards don't get destroyed by the Spirit effect. Though, so what you can do is True Light to special Blue Eyes plus Maiden. True Light, Special Blue Eyes, activate Maiden. And then in end phase, it depends on the matchup, but I often like to add Neo Kaiser Seahorse, because this then allows you to do a lot as well. Now, you also can instead go, depending on what your opponent has left on board, you can go True Light to set Majesty just, because that is then just a pop 2 that you can use to destroy your opponent's board. And you'll still have this, and Azure Eyes in your standby gets to target a Blue Eyes monster and special summon it. I believe it is... Sorry, target a normal monster in your group, special summon that target. So he can also just do this during your standby. That will mean that Maiden, sadly, doesn't get her effect to... it's basically what effect you'd prefer to have during your turn. So you would get True Light, you wouldn't have Majesty if you go True Light in end phase to summon Blue Eyes and Maiden, but you would have an extra Maiden summon, or you would have Majesty, but you wouldn't have the extra Maiden summon, which honestly can be fine, because depending on what you draw, you can just go True Light and set something like Wishes, but that also isn't available because in this deck I'm only playing 2 Wishes targets in Majesty and Roar, and already I've used up both of them, so it's a bit more debatable. But what I like to do from this position is go, I will draw for turn, Ash Blossom, say. Then I can go to kill from here. I like to go Maiden plus Azure Eyes, allowing me to make Bestial Dispatter. Because now with Bestial Dispatter, you can do some really, really crazy things. However, it also protects you from Nib. So say your opponent drew like Nib for their turn and didn't want to use it, you still have Dispatter just in case that happens. Next, you can special Neo Kaiser because you control Blue Eyes. And attack I've really been enjoying is activating Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragon in Grave to special summon. Sorry, not special. Fusion summon using monsters on from your hand and field, including the Blue Eyes monster. So you use Blue Eyes White Dragon and Neo Kaiser to fuse into Tyrant, who I like to put up here because he's typically, if for some reason my opponent lives, I can use him to pretty much just grab where to... I can use him to create seals, which up there, which is the typical play I'd go for, because from here I can activate something like True Lights. We have Neo Kaiser, which will resolve, which will allow me to send Blue Eyes or a monster that mentions it. So send Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Then we can go either, you can just go to battle here, or you can activate True Light to summon out Blue Eyes again. And so from here you can go to battle. You turn your spirit to attack and then go to battle, because now you can attack with Tyrant. If anything gets destroyed, you can special summon Jet. And then from that you can attack. Tyrant attacks everything. If any monster gets destroyed, you can special summon Jet because you have Blue Eyes Engraved. Then from here you have also an Omni Negate, a Monster Negate, an Omni Negate on field, destruction protection for all of your other cards, and attack, and are able to attack for 35, 38, potentially 4,500 if you've used his negate, and 3,000. And most people, and you only have 8,000 life points, so that should kill. But that will be the combo and how I typically play out and sequence my interruptions with this deck. And the text I use and what I add off my Magnamut typically. Obviously, it depends on, a lot of it does just depend on the situation I'm in. But I like to that's my typical game plan for this deck. And the 2-card combo does feel really, really strong. And I just hope that it is a bit weak to things like Drooling Lockbird still, but you are playing Callby and Crossout and Drooling Lockbirds because they're also spellcasters. So can get you into Spirit. So that will be that for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully be back on Saturday with... Actually, it might not be on Saturday this time because there is an OTS tournament. So I'll have to see, but I'll be back with a locals update and potentially an OTS update on either Saturday or Sunday. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.